You know, Dr. Fauci, I love reading leadership books, whether by people in all fields. And I'd love to read a book on leadership by you, but I think you're going to be too busy to write that for a while. So I wanted to ask you a question. I wanted to ask you about working through difficult situations in a difficult management structure, and what lessons you've learned over the past year, because this is applicable not only if you're working for a CEO who may be taking a company in a path you're concerned about, or whether you're working at the State Department, or whether you're working at the Pentagon, or even on the battlefield. What do you mind? I hope you don't mind us asking this side question. What did you learn over the past year?
You know, Joe, the thing I knew even before getting into this situation, with various versions of it and different experiences I've had over the almost 37 years that I've been director of the Institute, dealing with these types of outbreaks, often in charged situations, is that you've just got to be completely honest and true to yourself and to your principles, even though you're going to have to tell people some things that might be inconvenient truths. And inconvenient truths might put you at odds with people. But if you are consistent and go by the science and the data, I'm a scientist. The thing that drives me as a scientist and a public health figure is someone who looks at the data, looks at the evidence, and makes any kind of statement or policy or what have you based on the evidence as you see it. One of the things that people get confused about is that when you're dealing with an evolving situation like a pandemic, you may have to make a decision based on what you know in January or February. But the situation changes, the evidence changes, and the data changes. And you have to be flexible enough, humble enough, and honest enough to realize that what you knew a few months ago does not necessarily completely pertain now. But you've just got to be honest and true to yourself and not be afraid of the consequences. Once you're afraid of the consequences of telling the truth, you're done, because then your own credibility is gone and you'll never be effective.